I really don't care what happens at all. I don't care. Like everybody they tiptoe around with this social media, but what y'all don't get is that it be real consequence for y'all little flexes, y'all quick flexes for $300 that you need. It be consequence.
It was supposed to be a peaceful night, a celebration, a chance for Teyana Taylor to finally exhale, to stand tall after months of personal turmoil. The event was intimate, a soft launch for a fashion collaboration she'd poured her heart into. Friends, family, and a few media insiders gathered to support her new chapter. Aaron Pierre walked in confidently, dressed head to toe in sleek black. He stood beside Teyana like a quiet statement, whispering support, holding her close, making it clear they were more than just friends. It wasn't over the top, but it didn't need to be. The message was clear. She wasn't alone anymore. Some guests exchanged knowing looks. Others whispered, but most tried to keep the focus on Teyana's big moment. And then Iman showed up. He wasn't on the guest list. His name hadn't been mentioned. He just arrived. No one knows exactly why. Maybe he came to talk. Maybe he came to see. But what happened next shifted the entire energy in the room. Words were exchanged. Tension crackled. Then chaos. Security struggled to separate Iman and Aaron as the confrontation escalated. Moments later, police arrived to break it up. What sparked the fight? That's still unclear. But one thing's for sure. Whatever peace Teyana had hoped for that night vanished in seconds. No one had mentioned Iman during the planning. His name didn't come up once. But somehow someone tipped him off. Why he showed up, no one knows for sure. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe jealousy. Maybe he just needed to see for himself the man now standing beside Teyana. Maybe it was love that hadn't fully faded. But whatever the reason, the moment he stepped into the room, everything shifted. At first, Iman tried to stay low-key. He stood off to the side, silent, watching. But his presence couldn't be ignored. Conversations died down. The music felt quieter. Some guests excused themselves. Others pulled out their phones, sensing that something was brewing. Teyana saw him and froze. Her face said everything: confusion, unease, and a flicker of disbelief. She walked toward him, slow and steady. She whispered something only he could hear. Iman nodded, but his clenched jaw and fists told another story. For a while it stayed quiet. Iman on one side, Aaron on the other. Teyana, caught in between, tried to carry on with the event, smiling when she needed to, laughing when it felt appropriate. But her eyes kept darting between them, her nerves just barely masked by her calm exterior. And then one moment changed everything. Aaron leaned over to a friend and muttered something. A joke maybe, but the words weren't quiet enough. She's mine now. Iman heard it. He turned, crossed the room, and locked eyes with Aaron. No yelling. Just presence. Tension. Aaron stood up, not backing down. Guests began to inch away. Teyana's voice rose, pleading urgent. Please don't do this. But it was already too late. One shove. One swing. Then chaos. Tables overturned. Drinks flew. Fists collided. Teyana threw herself between them, shouting, crying, "You're hurting me," as she tried to break them apart. Security rushed in, but the fight was already spiraling. Some guests ducked for cover. One person slipped on spilled champagne. Another screamed. Glass shattered. A table cracked under the weight of the struggle. A guest tried to hold Iman back, but caught an elbow. Aaron's friend attempted to intervene, but was pushed aside. It wasn't just a fight anymore. It was an eruption, fueled by hurt, ego, and all the buried tension finally exploding in real time. Someone called 911. Others live-streamed. Teyana was pulled away, her dress torn, her voice hoarse from shouting. The room was smoke and broken glass and panic. And just like that, the celebration turned into something no one would forget, for all the wrong reasons. Her dress was torn, her hands bleeding. Her voice cracked as she let out another scream. Stop! The sirens came fast. Within minutes, the venue was surrounded. Red and blue lights painted the walls as police stormed the building. Officers shouted commands, cutting through the chaos. Flashlights swept across stunned faces as they pushed through the crowd. On the ground, Aaron was straddling Iman, his hand clenched in Iman's collar, ready to strike again. Two officers tackled him in an instant. Another yanked Iman to his feet. Both men were cuffed. Teyana stood in the middle of it all, shaking, tears streaking down her cheeks. She tried to explain, voice trembling. "It's not what it looks like, please, they're just emotional." But the officers weren't interested in emotions. Not in that moment. They pulled the men apart and escorted them out the back doors, straight into a sea of flashing cameras. They weren't arrested, just detained for questioning. Still, the image was explosive. Iman and Aaron, cuffed and surrounded by police. Teyana crying behind them. It was all the internet needed. Clips surfaced within minutes. One showed Iman shouting, "You don't deserve her." Another caught Aaron saying, "She chose me." Theories flew. Was Teyana secretly involved with both men? Was this a PR stunt? Who started the fight? Everyone had a take. Few had facts. Twitter was on fire. Instagram was flooded with edits and threads. Some praised Iman for defending his feelings. Others painted Aaron as the one provoked. But no one really knew what happened. Then came the posts. Iman broke his silence first. A black screen with white letters that read, "They'll never appreciate what they didn't help build." Aaron followed with a photo of his bruised face captioned, "Sometimes peace comes after pain." Teyana stayed quiet. 2 days of silence that only added fuel to the fire. Then finally a short message. "I wanted peace. I prayed for peace. But peace doesn't want me back." Behind the scenes, the situation was even more heartbreaking. Sources close to Teyana said she collapsed that night, sobbing in the bathroom, whispering to herself, "This is my fault." That she blamed herself for believing she could move on too fast, for thinking she could open her heart again before fully healing, that maybe she never should have let either of them stay in her life. She pulled out of appearances, canceled interviews. Brands hit pause. Teyana wasn't just retreating from the world, she was retreating from herself. A woman known for owning every stage now struggled to even get out of bed. Meanwhile, the legal whispers grew louder. Iman's team was reportedly reconsidering custody agreements, claiming the chaotic environment proved it was no longer stable for their daughter. Aaron's team fired back, saying Iman had no business being at the event, that his appearance was a violation of boundaries, and that he was the one who escalated things. And now, there's talk that security footage from inside the venue may become evidence in court. Online it became a frenzy. Fans picked sides. Hashtag Protect Teyana trended alongside hashtag Free Iman and hashtag Aaron the Actor. TikToks broke down body language. Everyone had a theory, a take, a team. Even celebrities joined in, some with cryptic Instagram stories. One R&B singer posted, "This is why I keep my heart on D&D." A reality star tweeted, "Imagine crying over someone who wouldn't even flinch if you disappeared." But here's the part most people missed. Teyana never asked for the drama. She never wanted a headline or a hashtag. She wanted something simple: love. Steady. Safe. Real. Instead, she became a storyline. Her pain turned into clickbait. Her tears were turned into memes. Her silence dissected like evidence. Behind the noise, her friends say she's struggling mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And for once, the spotlight feels less like a platform and more like a trap. She's been thinking about vanishing, leaving the country, stepping away from the spotlight, for good. A friend quietly shared, she's tired of being the strong one. Tired of holding it all together while everything around her falls apart. Another added, Iman broke her with his absence. Aaron broke her with his timing. It's like she never had a chance to win. There are whispers that she's journaling every night, pages soaked in ink, pain, and raw truth. That she's in therapy 3 times a week. That she's deleting numbers, blocking names, wiping her history clean. Some say she's writing a book, a tell-all. Others say she'll never speak on it again, because some wounds don't need words. They need silence, space, stillness. And yet, she's still here. Not loud, not messy, just surviving. For her daughter, for her peace, for herself. Because if this chapter has proven anything, it's this. Fame doesn't protect you from heartbreak. And love, when mixed with ego, envy, and expectation, can turn cruel fast. What really happened that night? Only a few people know. But one truth is clear. Teyana's heartbreak exposed more than just drama. It exposed the fragility of image, the brutality of public opinion, and the quiet cost of loving out loud. Maybe, just maybe, she'll rise again. Not as a woman broken, but as a woman reborn. Because sometimes peace doesn't come from trying to fix everything. It comes from walking away from what broke you. And this time, she just might.